Let me just say off the top, this is completely biased. If you don't like what I say about your favorite cookie, the door's right over there. I found this website called Candy Retailer, which I like where this is going already. There's an article written about the 30 most loved cookie brands out there. Most of them I've never heard of, like grain-free cookies. I'd like some of the grain. We are going to look at the top 10 cookies in this list, and we settle the debate. Which one is best? Based off my biased opinion. Because it matters. Just like the 2024 election. Your vote matters. Follow me on Twitter. First up, Royal Danse cookies. They are the butter cookies that come in the round blue tin with those cute little paper sleeves. You've probably only had these cookies around Christmas time unless you live in Denmark. You would go to Christmas functions within your family in hopes that your rich family members would bring these to the social. They are very sweet and taste like sugary butter. I would usually dip them in hot chocolate in my youth and pass out under a table. Obviously, this is put at number 1 to start. Next up is Famous Amos. I've probably eaten these about 20 times in my life, and they are always expensive. And they're just like those little bite muffin shits. They have like 3 muffins in them. Having these for lunch at school was a sign of wealth, but at what cost? Now, I've only had the chocolate chip, but they also have Mediterranean hazelnut and chocolate chip, Philippine coconut, and British salted caramel and chocolate chip. Holy hell, you put one of those Philippine coconut cookies in front of me, I'll do whatever you want. I'll show you a good time for those cookies. You know what I'm saying? The brand sells air in a bag like potato chips, and that will hurt you. Next up is Keebler cookies. Over the years, they've come out with a few different variations of cookies. God, coconut dreams. I am fat for a reason. I see those in the store and my ass is gonna start shaking like maracas. But they have made the well-known fudge stripe cookie along with the Elf Witch M&M cookies and grasshoppers. And those don't even scratch the surface on the variety that they have made. These elves work their asses off all year round. January to November, make cookies. December, freeze your ass off in the North Pole and make toys. I have never disliked any cookie the elves in the trees have ever made. And with that, the elves are now in the lead. Milano cookies. Campbell's Soup owns them. Dry, dry, dry. I know a lot of you are skinny and have no cookie knowledge, but what we professionals look for is if the cookie can be eaten with milk or if it can be eaten on its own. Milano does have double milk chocolate, hot cocoa, dark chocolate sea salt, strawberry, orange, caramel macchiato, mint, raspberry, coconut, toasted marshmallow, and pumpkin spice. But it's like taking a bite into Phoenix, Arizona. Not to mention you get like no filling in between the 2 cookies. I could sneeze more than what they're putting in between those cookies. And so, Campbell's Dry Soup Cookies, you find yourself right behind Famous Amos. Nilla wafers. Finally, an expandable cookie. Banana pudding pie. Get out of here, that's good. In high school, I took a mission trip to Kentucky. When I came back to the camp, a girl in my class made banana pudding pie. Ugh, I had to have been crying when I ate it. The Nilla wafer alone is great without being used in something, and it's not overkill. It's a simple disc of Nilla goodness. Put some Nutella between it, and Milano's gonna shit a brick because they know they just lost the war. You hear me, Nabisco? How about you make me a job offer? Make room for the new king. Now we start to get into the heavy hitters. Nutter butter. The list on this website has it ranked as number 6, and that is wrong. Nabisco just has good ideas. They think to themselves, what could make this world a better place? Not handing a Pepsi to the police during a protest, rather handing a Nutter butter to the police. You can push grandma down the steps with her homemade cookies. We only accept homemade Nutter butters now. Alone, the cookie is great. You put milk with it, you won't know if you're receiving communion in church or if you're eating cookies in your parents' basement. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. You sure know how to spoil yourself, Jonathan. Honey, what is it, dear? Do you hear that sound? Sweetie, he's exploring his body. It's normal for his age. He's 26. Oh, Mr. Nutter, meet Mr. Butter. Ding, ding, the king's been slain. Bring in the new king. There's always garbage in the mix, so I guess now we can talk about Fig Newtons. You're already in last place. I had my share of these growing up and I hated them every single time. Fig Newtons, or as they changed the name in 2012 to Newtons because that changes how they taste, was ranked 5th on this list. I really start to question you, Robert Beadle. Your journalism skills are now being questioned. Imagine walking down the cookie aisle like it's a wedding and everyone's cheering for you. Instead of being handed Nilla wafers or Nutter butters, they hand you Fig Newtons. I would be walking away from the store with it going up in flames behind me. Belvita cookies. Once again, Nabisco is doing the Lord's work. Someone really sat in the board meeting and said, we need a breakfast cookie. I think these are comparable to Biscoff, which is that airplane cookie you can get, but Belvita has toasted coconut breakfast biscuits, protein blueberry almond soft baked biscuits, cinnamon brown sugar breakfast bites. They're really good at making short names for their products. They make these babies dry so you can dip them in your coffee, but not as dry as one of those damn Milano turds. And this is why Nabisco always wins Monopoly on family game night. And you belong right behind Keebler and the Elves. Chips Ahoy cookies. Let me state for the record, the chewy Chips Ahoy cookies are disgusting. I don't have any time for that. I am a chunky man, so I would like a chunky cookie. All right, pull grandma back up the steps. Look, you can only make the chewy homemade cookies only. None of that Fig Newton shit. I will disconnect that oven. Don't even try me. Chunky Chips Ahoy are good, but I think you need to be in a certain mood. Like a hot summer day is not the most ideal for this cookie. In the winter while you're watching football or whatever you do with your free time, these cookies I think are very respectable. And so I am placing you right above Keebler and his elves. And now for the heavyweight contender, the main event of the evening. Oreos. Cream and cookie. Simple, effective, delicious. And there's your new slogan. They made it cool to take the cookie and dip it in the milk. This has been my #1 for a very long time growing up. Even Robert Beadle, who has questionable journalism for his stance on Fig Newtons, has them at a very high ranking. I don't need to speak on Oreo's behalf, the variety speaks for itself. For the sake of the pecking order on this list, the top dog is between Oreo and Nutter Butter. Both are made by Nabisco, the legendary Nabisco. Nilla Wafers, who's third, is also made by Nabisco. I just found out I'm a Nabisco fanboy. After giving myself a long, hard look in the mirror and asking myself who am I deep down, I have decided that Nutter Butter is the top dog on this list. So here's the list. And how does it compare to your list? No one tell me that Fig Newton is their favorite. I will start blocking people. And don't forget to join the Patreon. We're doing a cookie mukbang over there with Liam Neeson. Ciao.